Hi, my name is Matthew White. I am a sophomore here at High Point University, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about to get to know myself about me, like a little of reflection, something like that. What did I learn about myself from the Pathway U and from the Strengths Finder assessment? Well, I was a summer advantage student here about a year and a half ago. So in my academic foundations for success class, the professor would make sure we would get an early start, and we would actually dive in, and we would do these assessments for like the interest, values, the workplaces, and your personality traits. And my professor, she would bring people from the Office of Career Professional Development, and they would help us get on this as early as we can. So I had an advantage of that, and thankfully I'm taking this class in my sophomore year, not in my junior or senior year, so I can get this stuff out of the way. So basically, when I did this assessment, it was pretty interesting, like what kind of jobs I want in the future. I want to be a public addresser announcer for the Miami Heat, or like an NBA agent if that doesn't go my way. I can go for any team, but I love the Heat, maybe the Orlando Magic, something like that. So what I learned about Pathway U is that when I did the assessment, it gave me all these values and interests that can put me into these, they put into those jobs, and they tell you oh, you would be a good sport agent, you'd be a good coach, stuff like that. So I think that's what I really learned, that Pathway U analyzes what you did on the survey, and they put that in together, and they give you a sense of an idea. So there were some disagreements I would have with Pathway U. Basically, after the assessments, it did a good job, don't get me wrong, but during our class discussion, a lot of students said that, and even myself included, that it's not 100% accurate because it doesn't really know you that well yet, but it's yourself, but it helps a lot. I would say it's around 80% or more accurate, but basically I discovered that I saw for my working conditions, I was shocked because, me knowing myself, I can work in any setting. I can work outside in the heat, inside, anywhere in the building. So it gave me a low score for that, and I was pretty shocked about that, to be honest. But you know what? I know in the back of my mind that I have really good social skills, collaborative skills, and hard work dedication. So all those skills set into one, I feel like I don't have to worry about that too much. And then we go on to, basically what I learned about myself. What can I change about my current life? Well, out of all the stuff that I've learned, I was a sport media major. I didn't really like the cameras, so I changed into the sport management, and I'm learning more about it, but I've been in the works to get an internship for the Miami Heat. My family and I know a lot of people that work with the Heat who know people that can reach out to us, and we can reach out to them and set a meeting and all that stuff. But hopefully I can get the internship, because that is something that I'm applying for actually right now. And there's different roles. Before I even apply for this internship, I went on their LinkedIn. There's a bunch of different things, you can do sales associates, which is a good backup for me. Anything with PA announcing. I don't know yet if it's separated into separate departments. But if sales associate is the best one I can get, then I'll do that this summer and see how I like it. Or it could just be a internship, just to work with all the fields and get used to the facilities and all that stuff. So that's something I plan to do for this upcoming summer. And then basically about myself, what I would tell my employers in an interview. So good thing enough, I went to Foot Locker a couple years ago. It was heading into my senior year of high school. My mom's like, you need a job. So I was like, okay. So during my interview, they would ask me some, questions. And while we were going through the interview, when they asked me, what could you do to make our company better? What would you thrive in? And I told them, look, I ran cross country and track for 3 years of high school. I have a really good experience with knowing what type of running shoes are good for runners, because, they have a lot of employees in there that know a lot about basketball, soccer, all that stuff, football, but they had running shoes there, and they didn't have anyone there that knew that much about that type of stuff. So I told them I could talk to these customers that are trying to buy our shoes, and I can tell them what running shoes are good, what are good support, what do you need for marathons, all that stuff. So I feel just thinking, you have to, when they ask you the question, you have to go and think of it in a different way. So it's separated, which means like you don't want to say what everyone else says. You want to say what you want to say. So when when my interview comes up, and probably I'd say around like April or May, probably May after the semester ends, but I'm definitely gonna want to have it prepared. I'm gonna write it all out on a Google Doc, and then I'm gonna practice it. I'll probably have my mom like interview me as practice a few times, so that when that actual interview comes, when I talk to these people and they ask me like, oh, like, why do you think you would be a good, intern for the Miami Heat? And I would tell them all these things like, I've grown up loving the sport of basketball. I know a lot about it. I'm a huge, Heat fan, NBA fan in general, and I know how to like the game day operations go, all that stuff, and I can work with anyone and I can get with them well. My social skills really help with that. So kind of like all that stuff that would help me thrive in that environment. So yeah, that's me getting to know myself. Matthew White. I'm a sophomore. I got 2 more years. So it was nice to tell you guys a little bit about my life. Thank you.